and to help Cuba, which is another issue, have been spread so thin that they're not able to do the jobs that they're supposed to do in their country.
How did Leopoldo Lopez become the face of this?
It's a very interesting situation. He's been part of the opposition for some time. It's him, it's Maria Corina Machado, it's Enrique Capriles.
Who was the one who almost beat Maduro?
Last year, correct. But he decided to do something different. He actually followed up his words with actions. And what you saw yesterday, and it's a very emotional thing for Venezuelans, is that he actually made the sacrifice. He turned himself in. Even though these charges are trumped up charges, he turned himself in. And this, I think, signals a new phase in this whole discussion.
Does a new phase take us toward or away from the potential of a coup?
The new phase is a building block for substantive change. I don't think there's a coup in the cards right now. I think that, if anything, this really demonstrates what an opposition could do if they stuck by their word with deeds. And you saw him yesterday turn himself in. The issues that are still outstanding are pretty big. What's the military going to do? It's unlikely that the military is going to turn its weapons, its arms on the people. It's more likely that they would have issues with a leadership that asks them to do that, to take up arms against Venezuelans. Those are questions that still are not answered yet.
Where does Maduro stand in this? Is he popular? He didn't look that way from the people we saw speaking in the streets. Does he have any relationship at all with Lopez?
Not with Lopez. He was working on the fumes or the tail winds that Mr. Chavez had left him. Right now, he doesn't have that anymore, and we're left to rate him on his deeds, which in these last 10 months to a year have been few.
You mentioned Cuba, but is there a role in reaching a resolution here for any of the other neighboring nations around Venezuela to step up, to run interference in this and try to find some middle ground?
Well, it's been surprising that more countries in the region haven't stepped up to actually call out some of the injustices that have gone on. There have been very timid statements by some of the other countries in the region and by the Organization of American States with regards to this issue.
Why is that?
They haven't called, well, you know, it's not really popular to go after or to call out a leader in the region. But some of these actions that are happening are so egregious that you wonder why other countries, and we're talking about Latin America, we're talking about the place of the world that talks about democracy, that talks about representing minority viewpoints, and these folks aren't sort of coming together and speaking out about what's happening in Venezuela.
And this is something the U.S. keeps its distance from?
Yes, because it's afraid that they're going to use the United States as a target to say, hey, the United States is orchestrating this when it's not clearly. That's really one of the issues. So the United States, I think, is in a unique situation now where it can sort of channel a lot of what's going on, and hopefully it does.
Carl Meacham, the Director of the Americas Program at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Thank you very much.
Thank you.